Yeah, man. I wouldn't be surprised if the video quality is bad on this one because of the way that it took so long for my live video to come up. It took a long time for the live video to come on at all. Um, and that's typical. Lately, they're messing with my phone so much. It's very typical. So the suppression tactic goes like this: they allocate a certain amount of my storage depending on whatever they feel like anytime they want, and anything beyond that is the storage is full and I can't use it. I can't use my own device to store my own files or make videos or whatever. I can't even do my own stuff because they're allocating so much of my space to themselves to host their virtual machines or whatever and run their little live streams, their EMF broadcast live streams in the background and whatever. So so then I have to do live videos, and then I started to do live videos, and they started to suppress that. So they start to like shut off my video when I start talking about things that they don't like, or they start to um, just suppress the service. That way the video comes out choppy and like the video quality. And I'm on full 4G bars, all bars, T-Mobile, iPhone 8 Plus. The video quality should be amazing, and the signal is perfect. And every day I go through this problem where they shut down my service and they're all using my service, and I got crappy videos coming out, and I can't even get things to happen half the time. So anyway, I had a topic that I just thought about for people to believe us when we talk about this whole thing with remote neural monitoring. Who's ever heard of that? I mean, I haven't never heard of it until it started happening to me. That's when I heard of remote neural monitoring, as soon as it started happening to me. And then I didn't never heard the term gang stalking until um, until I had to find out this is what's going on in my life. Excuse me. For me, a long time, it was a problem that people that I was close to didn't believe what I was saying or what I was talking about. And I just quit talking about it. And that's what we do, and it's like nobody believes you. The police don't believe you. The police don't believe you, and your family doesn't believe you. And because this is technology, it's the way that it works. You're on neural monitoring. And, somebody could be standing right next to you using artificial telepathy. You wouldn't know it. And if somebody's talking to you with artificial telepathy, the people around you can't hear it, and they don't believe that it's really happening because they can't hear it and they've never heard of anything like this. So it's typical for gang stalkers that have someone, if you're in the position where you've already decided you need to look up things and figure out what's going on and they're harassing you every day, well, you're probably heavily targeted. And so people like us, once they start this whole campaign of gang stalking against you, then they'll go ahead and get your family, you know, they'll buy up the neural monitors of your family, and just to make sure that the whole spectrum, like if you're profitable to them, they start to run it like a business, and they got people doing live streams and people buying neural monitors to keep the situation under control. Like if I'm being gang stalked by 10 people or 20 people or 50 people or however many on a regular, and they're doing EMF broadcast live streams, and then they can't risk it for, like, oh, what if my little brother, or what if my mother gets neural monitoring, or what if my little sister gets neural monitoring, or my aunt, or somebody, like, who knows? And then so they have to pay attention to everybody that's close to you, involved in your life at all, and make sure that you don't get neural monitoring. Because if you get neural monitoring, it could be a collapse of the whole thing, and like it's a problem. They've been gang stalking you, and they think they can suppress you because, like, what they think that you'll never know that you could go onto the internet and get your security protocols or whatever, and all the privacy stuff, and the different languages, probably learn some coding stuff. You get to a point where you'll be able to get your neural monitoring just like they did. But they didn't think you was going to take that route. But now it's this thing where everybody's starting to understand what's really going on, you know? And the biggest problem is that people didn't believe us. And that's one of the biggest things, like when the gratification that you need, you know? When you're, it's not like you want to get back at them, but like at some point you want to have that day, your glorious day where, everything's outed. It's all outed. It's in the open, and like these gang stalkers are starting to go to prison, and they're approaching you with deals or whatever, like, and you've been tortured for years, or all this stupid stuff's been going on, and then it all comes out to be the truth because it is the truth. We're not lying. There's not 10,000 people on the internet talking about microwave weapons because we're lying about it. We ain't lying about it. We know what's going on. It's not our fault that everybody else is far behind, but these gang stalkers make sure that they keep it that way. They keep it to the point where other people around you, they're not going to target 2 or 3 people together that can all collaborate with their words, say, hey, these things are happening, and I back them up. It happened to them, and it's happening to us. It's not, it's not what they do. They had to spread it out a little bit. They could try to work on some isolation tactics, and so while all this is going on, man, it's our deepest desire, really, like, to have everybody, like, I can't wait for the day when it all comes out. And even the people that over the years have kind of said, okay, yeah, well, I could tell something's going on, but they still don't really understand. They don't really know, artificial celebrity. And this is for y'all, man, for the real ones out there, the real ones. So there's not that many of us. There's a lot of people that are targeted, but it's full blown. If you got broadcast stuff going on and they're attacking you and they're talking to you all day, talking and turning on stuff, and they just got full access to doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff. Like, that's the real full blown targeted thing, man. Remote neural monitoring, artificial telepathy, EMF broadcast, mind control. And it is to have to deal with these idiots every day. It really is. And it's not that I want to get back at them, but I cannot wait for the day that all of the people, that my friends and my family and everybody that I knew before, that I used to be close to before this whole thing got in the way, when they hear about it, otherwise, and they hit me up and say, are you kidding me? This the whole thing's for real? Are you kidding me? That's the gratification that we long for. And can't nobody tell me nothing, man, because, you can tell me I'm open to hear things, but I know what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about all of this stuff on my YouTube channel, that's why it's one of the more popular channels. I know it's raw. It's very unprofessional. I just turn on the video like now. I'm just talking, holding my phone in my carport. But I'm telling you the real truth of what's really going on, and it's just like not what you get to hear about in the real thing, on the TV and the radio. People aren't talking about this, the reality of things. It's like this whole brainwash of the masses of society, and just keep it at a certain level. And really, what's really going on behind the scenes is way beyond that. And it really boils down to human trafficking and slavery and all of this stuff, because your neurological control panel, your digital self, and all of these things with neural monitoring, that is your frequency, that is connected with you, and it's important. And it can affect you greatly. It can ruin your life, and it has way too much power and control over your day-to-day living situation, just in how life is, and the quality of life and everything else. For anybody else to have control over it, your neural monitoring, your frequency broadcast, it's too much to let somebody else have. And is it an actual website, or is it a script that I put into my terminal? Is it a frequency? Is it a frequency that I write into the coding of different things? Can I go into a Google Maps and change the navigation center point location to my frequency, and is that how they can just put a beam on me that feels like I'm on fire? Or what's really going on, man? I know that's not how it works. I'm just saying, they're living as broadcast, and they're able to do all this stuff. But, given the advantage that they can hack into everything, and they already have this control and authority, and this whole thing where they can suppress you. They can only suppress you if you don't learn about these things. So they don't want you to learn about these things. And they try to stop me from everything. They try to stop me from telling everybody. They try to stop me from doing everything that I want to do to get ahead of them. And it's always a problem. And it's this whole thing. And this hacking thing is the Wild West, man. The laws are not caught up to this yet. Laws are not up with the times. People can be all into your phones and all over your accounts, and API calls in the background blowing up nonstop, and you know that they're just deleting your files and stealing your service and everything, man. And it's all about you. This EMF broadcast stuff of you. That's what they're doing. That's how they're making money too. And you can't get a police officer that even knows what a HTTP request is. I didn't know either. It's not their job to know. It's their job to pass a physical training thing and not be a criminal record person, whatever. And then they get the job. They get to ride around and give tickets or whatever. They don't know what a HTTP request is. The police aren't involved with EMF broadcast, live stream. They work every day. These gang stalkers don't leave the house. But they're sitting there on mind control. And I made a good video earlier. I was going to go live earlier, and they shut down my service again. And so I made it on my other phone. I got to turn it on and post that video. And it's just a little story, as the story goes. That's what it's called, but it's cool. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching my channel, man. The channel's going through a little changes. I feel like it's an upgrade, but it's going to get better and better. It's going to just continue to get better and better. And I'm never slipping again, man. I'm going all the way, full throttle from now on to solve these problems. It's too big. It's too much people going through this stuff, and it's too retarded that we're trying to pretend as a society that this doesn't exist while some small percentage has this overwhelming control and authority over the ones that don't know about EMF broadcast and remote neural monitoring that really evolves out of hacking. So that's what's going on. This is Kevin Christian. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll be back soon.